Okay, this is a quick shout out video to one of my students. Okay, and he has a little difficulty with this addition and subtraction of scientific notation when you have unlike powers here. So, it can be confusing, and I'm just going to show you one method that I've used to make it easier. So let's look at his number 25 here. Okay, is saying that he has 7.19 times 10 to the minus 8. Okay, minus 8.9 times 10 to the minus 9. Okay, so that's our problem right there. All right, so what I recommend you do is you try to get this thing and that thing to be equal. And I would look at this guy here and I would break him up. So I'm talking about working on this term here and then do the actual addition. Okay, so what I'm saying is you have 8.9 times 10 to what? 10 to the minus 8 times 10 to the minus 1 equals 10 to the minus 9 if you use your exponent rules, because what you have here is 10 to the minus 8 plus minus 1, and that equals 10 to the minus 9. So I'm breaking up this minus 9 into this here, so I'm going to put it minus 8 and then times 10 to the minus 1. Okay? Now I'm going to look at these two guys, and I'm going to try to put those together. So if you have 8.9 times 10 to the minus 1, that's the same as 8.9 divided by 10 to the plus 1. So what happens when you divide by, so that's 8.9 divided by 10. What happens when you divide by 10? You're going to make this number smaller, of course. So it's 0.89, okay? So that's the effect of these two is 0.89. So what does this become? This becomes 8.9. It becomes 0.89 times 10 to the minus 8. Okay, so everything go over that again. 8.9 times 10 to the minus 9. Okay, which really is the combination of these two, and I'm trying to get these like exponents to be similar. You can't add or subtract these unless these two guys are the same. This two parts, okay? Uh, and that will make it work out. Okay, so now to do that, I'm realizing that if I took the 10, I'm creating the 10 to the minus 8, and then I'm saying, well, how do I get back to what I had? So I need to multiply by this. So that's where I took these two now and operated on these, and I found out that these two together really equal this. And then I'm multiplying this times my 10 to the 8. Okay, so now back to the problem. 7.19 times 10 to the minus 8 minus 0.89 times 10 to the minus 8. Now it's a simple process. 7.19, I'm going to subtract 0.89, and I get 0, and I get this becomes a 6, that's 11, I get 3, okay, and then I get 6.30. All right, there you go. And and that's about right. So let's check it. So here you go. You got 6.30 times 10 to the minus 8, and that's the final answer. Now, I don't know if you got a calculator out there. but some calculators can do these problems rather simply too to check your answers. I know your teacher's not going to allow you to use one on the test, but you got to use one to check your answers. So let's start out. 7.19. Okay, I pressed the E button, and then I'm allowed to put in the exponents. So I put in -8, okay, minus, okay, 8.9 E button, and it'd be 9, but it's a -9, and I get this number here, 6.3 times 10 to the -8. You see? Lines up. There you go. So this is a great way of checking your answers. All right, so that's 25. All right, the next problem he has is 22. All right, I'm going to write that down in long form here. It's 2.56 times 10 to the 4th plus 4.6 times 10 to the 3rd. Okay, so far we've been dealing, well, there's nothing different here. It's all the same. So what am I going to attack here? I'm going to attack this guy because I want to make him like the 3rd. So how do you get a 4th? Well, you multiply 10 times to the 3rd power times 10 to the 1 power, because 10 to the 3 plus 1 equals 10 to the 4. So that I'm just breaking up this 10 to the 4th into these two. I'm going to keep this guy alone out here and keep traveling him down as I do this, 2.56 times this, okay? All right. Now, if I multiply 10 by something, I'm going to move the decimal place 1 to the right because it's going to be a bigger number. So I'm going to get 25.6 times 10 to the 3rd plus 4.6 times 10 to the 3rd. And there you go. I'm all together now. All right, let's add these coefficient parts here. 25.6, 4.6 is 2, carry the 1, 5, 6, 10, carry the 1, 3, 30.2. So I get 30.2, right? Well, let me use one more step. 25.6. I'm going to take this out of here and put it in front, okay? 10 to the 3rd times 25.6 plus 4.6, okay? So that's where I get these two added together become 30.2 times 10 to the 3rd. You see, this is still got to be multiplied by these two coefficients. It's still hanging out. Maybe it's better to put it over here. All right, so I kept it outside, but then these guys you add, and you still got to multiply these. Okay, so I have 30.2, but that's not scientific notation the way we want it. We want usually x dot xx times 10 to some number, all right? So we need this decimal to be right here. So how do I do that? Okay, well, I realized that 30.2 is really 3.02 times 10 to the 1. And then I have times 10 to the 3. So you see, I broke this up into this. So this is 3.02 times 10 to the 4th. And that'll be my answer. Okay, let's check it with the calculator. Good old calculator. 2.56 EE to the 4th power, okay, plus 4.6 EE to the 3rd power. And I get 3.02 to the 4th power. There you go. Very well. All right, 2 more to go for a quick video here. I have here what looks like 23. I don't know. 8.64 times 10 to the -6 plus 2.4 times 10 to the -4th. There you go. All right. So I'm going to attack this 10 to the -6, okay? And try to make him into a 10 to the -4. So how do I get 10 to the -6? Well, 10 to the -6 is really 10 to the -4 times 10 to the -2. There you go. So 10 to the minus 6 is really multiplying these, because that's 10 to the minus 4 plus minus 2. And that's where you get the minus 6. So let me break him up. 8.64 times 10 to the minus 4 times 10 to the minus 2 plus 2.4. Let me just carry this guy down. All right, he just carries down, but I'm operating on these guys. All right, and I made him this. All right, now I realize 8.64 times 10 to the minus 2 is really equal to 8.64 divided by 10 to the 2. Well, and that equals 8.64 divided by 100. So what are you doing? You're making a small number. So you're moving the decimal 2 places. So that'd be 8.6412. So it's 864, right? No, it's moving it the other way. So I'm moving it 1, 2. So it's 0.0864. Because if you have 8.64, you divide it by 100, you're going to have a smaller number. So there you go. Always be asking yourself there, am I getting a smaller number, a bigger number? What should I be getting? All right. So I replaced this guy and this guy with this number, 0.0864 times 10 to the minus 4 plus 2.4 times 10 to the minus 4. I'm good. Now just add these two. 0.0864 plus 2.4 times 10 to the minus 4. So let's add these guys together. 0.0864. I'm rushing to try to get this out before it's too late here. Okay, 2.4. Add those together. 4, 6, 8, 4.2 times 10 to the minus 4. Bring that down, and there it is. Let's do our double check here with our trusty calculator. 8.64 EE to the negative 6 power. Let's do that again. 8.64 EE to the negative 6 power plus 2.4 EE 4 to the negative 4 power, and I get 2.4864 to the negative 4 power. That is correct. One last problem. Okay, 24. I get 1.76 times 10 to the 5. Okay? And then I have minus 5.8 times 10 to the 2. It looks like. All right? So, well, what am I going to operate on? Well, I'm going to operate on this guy for my choice. Anyways, 1.76 times 10 to the 3rd times 10 to the 2 minus 5.8 times 10 to the 2. So I got these guys. Now, what happens when I deal with this? Okay, well, that's 1.76. I'm going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places, a much bigger number. So this becomes 1760 times 10 to the 2 minus 5.8 times 10 to the 2. 1760, excuse me, and I'm on subtraction here, minus 5.8, and I still have to carry that 10 to the 2 multiplier. Okay, so let's do this one. 1760. Okay, minus 5.8. Well, I have to make this a 59, right? And then make this a 10. So that's a 2. And that will be a 4, a 5, 7, 1. So I get 1754.2 times 10 to the 2. Now, this is not in its finished form because I have to realize I could change some of this. So what would I do? Well, I have to move it 1, 2, 3. So I still need a 1.7542 times 10 to the 3 power then. So this here became this. Then still I have to bring down the 10 to the 2 power. So I got 1.7542 times 10 to the 5th power. All right, let's check with our calculator. Let's see how that works out. Oh, I'm having a little trouble with my stuff here. 1.76 EE to the fifth. Okay, minus 5.8 EE to the 2. And I get 1.7542 times 10 to the fifth. That is correct. And that concludes this video. We'll try to do another video of exponents and laws of exponents shortly. And here's this homework. Thank you.